Hi everyone, I've come out onto the Hacking River this morning to try my luck for some springtime flathead. The conditions are pretty good, it's a little bit of a breeze, but I'm hoping to get onto a couple of fish. The Hacking River is blessed with some unbelievable flats which drop into really small channels, and there's a mixture of kelp, weed, etc. It's perfect country for the flathead to lie in. When searching for flathead, you need to be looking in these areas where the sand flats drain off into the deeper channels, especially on an outgoing tide where the fish lay in wait for any kind of bait fish that gets washed off the flats. Here we go. It's flatty time. It's good. Nice fish. Been flicking some soft plastics around in these shallow sand flats, and I've got my first flatty, which is pretty cool. Nice little fish. Just released her off the jig head there. Beautiful area. This next fish came on a squidgy prawn. I was using a really natural colour as the water here in the Hacking was so crystal clear. I thought it'd be a better presentation in luring out one of those flathead from the bottom. Bad fish. There's the squidgy prawn. It's rigged on a TT. Yeah, it is a quarter ounce jig head. Nice natural looking lure for today. The water here is so clear, like it's 49 centimetre. So nice healthy little flatty. Yep. Again, that would be a ripper on the table if you're up for a feed. Yeah, beautiful eating. Probably one of my favourite fish locally to eat. Great fun to catch, especially on the soft plastics and lures, etc. Yeah, so 49 centimetre model. Yeah, he was just sitting in, there's a little channel here. I'm sitting in about 1.2 metres of water. It just drops off from the weed I'm sitting on, just straight into here. I'll try and get a bit of vision of that when I release this guy. So you can see what kind of country I'm sitting in based on where that fish was laying. So I'm sitting just on the weed. On this side I've got sand again. I've got a nice big patch of weed that's mixed in with some kelp and things like that. And then it drops down probably to more like 1.5 metre, 2 metre, and then spotted pieces of weed. It's just a perfect ground for flathead to lie in wait. I've got the power pole down, so which is just absolutely perfect in these shallow water sort of flat areas, and that just enables me to fan a whole host of casts out before I move on to a different spot. And then once you've kind of had your turn, thinking you've covered it fairly well, move another 10 metres, 20 metres and hit another area. The water's just about all receded off the flat now. This is the actual sand flat where you usually pump for yabbies. There's a couple of people over a little bit further pumping yabbies now that the tide's gone so far out. There's a lot of fish moving around under the boat, but they're all Ludrick. Oh! Yeah, there's another little flatty on the bent. Oi! That's cool. Oi! That's awesome. Oh, he's going pretty hard. Not huge. We've got to be happy about that. I flicked that up, but seriously, that would have been, you know, it was just 20 centimetres of water. Pretty cool. He knew what he wanted. It's not a massive one. There, it's a nice looking little fish. Okay, in the net. Happy days. Okay, he's off the lures. Little hooks, yeah, he's just a little guy. And there he goes. It's probably about, yeah, be about 40 odd centimetres. But again, just taking that bent lure, which is pretty cool. And they're quite a big lure, the 130 mil, like compared to the size of that fish. That's the lure. Not sure of its colour code, but yeah, it definitely looks like a potty mullet, something like that. And that's what he's smashed on the surface. I'll get rid of that. Yeah, he's probably about 45 centimetre. All right, I'm going to pop this little baby back in. Nice, beautiful, fresh. And a little juvenile flatty. It's got the nice tail markings. I'll put it back in now. Alright, this is the little rig I've been using today. It's the 130mm OSP bent, which is a great lure. I really like using these surface lures. Just got that onto a 10-pound FC rock, down to 6-pound J-braid. Got the Vanford 2500 reel, but pretty much you could be using anything out here for sort of flathead. And it's a Zodius 7-foot, 2 to 4 kilo stick. So nice and light. And you know, fairly light. If I come across a really big flatty, it's probably going to be a bit of a struggle. But yeah, I like to keep things pretty light. It's basically just one of the rigs I use for fishing for brimmet stuff. So I'll get a few more casts in because that's a lot of fun. This fish came in the real shallows. It was probably 20 centimetres or shallower when I hooked up onto this fish. The OSP bent lure, the 130mm lure, actually got caught up around the fish as he struck. Coming in sideways. You sure it's a flatty? Yeah, really interesting, is it? Hopefully he'll tied himself in a knot. Yeah, he's a flatty. He's fully tail wrapped and back to front. Look. How funny. Oh, lad. But yeah, all the same, it's not too bad. There you go, the 130mm bent lure strikes again. Alright, there's the little flatty. Again, probably similar size, around 40 centimetre. But he's come up and surfaced the surface strike on that OSP bent, which is pretty cool. Great lure, really like fishing it, especially up in these shallow kind of areas. So I'll get this guy back in and yeah, see if there's a couple more lurking around. So I've only got a few more minutes left, and then I'll be pulling out of this little channel as well and heading back out. So good little session this morning in this wind, but a spectacular day. It's been a pretty cool start to spring.